Vanderpump cares that Doty is slamming her as disgustingly diabolical because it's just a roundabout rat chasing its tail, not the tam rat. But Kristin added that I will never be okay with this. I will never be okay with this constant abuse. I will never be okay. I can't even read my own handwriting, but I will never be with this. I will never be okay with this consent and abuse enable. Basically, she said, I'll never be okay with LVP enabling his behavior. I do think LVP enables James. Sorry, I do. Um, so that is that. And she said that it makes her, Kristin Doute said it makes her sick to her stomach, that for LVP to have the audacity to basically, give him a pass, it makes her sick to her stomach. And Kristin says, to every woman who is a survivor of DV and wasn't believed or supported, I want to say I'm sorry. I got to say I'm Team Doty on this one, not just because I love my Doty, but I agree. So there you go, LVP. No offense, but doesn't seem like you're supporting James on this one is a great idea. She also has spoken out and said, will she ever come back to Beverly Hills? Never say never. But then she also said, you see that pig over there, darling, flying to the moon. You see the moon is full tonight and the pig is flying to the moon. Well, darling, there's a better chance of that pig arriving at the moon than me returning to Beverly Hills. She's not going back. Why the hell would someone with their own show, multiple shows, go back? She has teased. Beware, stay tuned, because I'm working on something new. So in addition to Vanderpump, in addition to Vanderpump Rules, she says she has a new show coming or something new. So stay tuned. She's not going to go back. Pigs will fly to the moon. She has not spoken to PK. She has not spoken to Dorit or Kyle or Mauricio. But she says, yeah, I was good friends with PK, and I hate to see any marriage broken up. And when I still have a great affiliation for PK, but when he was married to, she won't even say the name. Okay, moving on. He's still married to that one. Okay, so there you go. And she says that the cast for VPR season 12 has been chosen, and darling, they're all beautiful and young. And let's just stop comparing who was the Stassi and the Jax, because just when you think there can't be another beautiful person sleeping with another one at this is Hollywood, darling. They all walk through the door. She. So there is my LVP impression for the day. Take my SAG card away, if you will. What else can we talk about? Paige and Craig. Paige and Craig. We can talk about that, I guess, very quickly. God, are we going to get to all the things I want to talk about? Paige and Craig. So where are we with Paige and Craig? I gotta say, I'm team nobody on this. Let me just start by saying that I am team nobody. Craig went on Watch What Happens. I think everyone probably knows by now, and it seems like the gloves are off. Andy Cohen brought it up, and Craig said, I don't want to be in it. And Andy said, well, sweetie, you are in it. Ever see the way that Andy Cohen looks at Craig? Andy Cohen has his favorites. Erica Jane, Kyle. He loves Austin and Craig. I don't know. I don't know if I think Andy associates the Southern Charm boys with, well, first of all, Cone loves the straight guys, right? He wants to bro out. I think he associates the Southern Charm people with, the beginning of his career. Like they kind of came up together. Mind you, again, like the Vander kids, when it's over, it's over. He'll kick you out to the left door. But he really likes this Craig. And he's like, well, sweetie, you are in it, which he is. And Craig said, look, so we all know that, let's just back up. We all know that Craig lied. Paige went on the podcast. She said we broke up at Thanksgiving. He did the interviews to promote Southern Charm. He lied. He said we were still together. She sent him a text that said, I'm going to talk about it on the podcast, blah, blah, blah. So Craig is saying, so people chastise Craig for lying during the interviews. Craig has now said, well, first of all, let me just say that what was I supposed to do? She texted me, we're breaking up. I'm going on the podcast. And then I was like promoting Southern Charm. What was I supposed to do? Say, oh, excuse me, can I interrupt this interview? I just got dumped by Paige. Point well taken. He said, look, it wasn't mutual. So the fact that Paige is saying that, that's a lie. It wasn't mutual. I'm the ex-boyfriend. I got broken up with. She told me she was joking. By the way, I also thought she was joking because 2 weeks prior to her breaking up, we were planning our wedding and we were in my mom's kitchen, and she used to make me plan not to break up with her on a weekly basis. And I was planning to move to New York and blah, blah, blah. And we were planning a trip and et cetera, et cetera. So that's that. And he said it was not mutual. I was dumped. I was the ex-boyfriend, and I'm going through, the 5 stages of grief and anger and this and that. I'm doing all of this in the public eye, and it's not easy. Okay, so maybe some points back for Craig. Again, I'm really team nobody on this. I think as a person, I relate to Paige more as a person, a New Yorker. I mean, he was also asked about what do you think about Amanda Batula from Summer House? And, she said, you're trying to garner sympathy. He said, that's mental. What Amanda said is actually mental. I'm not trying to garner sympathy. I'm literally processing my emotions like everyone else in the world. I just happen to be doing it in the public eye, which, by the way, is not easy. He then said, which I'm sure everyone has seen this quote by now, we didn't want different things. She just wanted different people. And that's fine. But we didn't want different things. She just wanted different people. And he did go on to say, I'm sick of people saying love is not enough. She lived there. I lived here. Love is not enough. He's like, yes, love is enough. For all the people out there in a long distance relationship, love is enough. I mean, I kind of agree with him on this. I kind of agree with her on this. Life gets in the way, but if you're meant to be with someone, it will work out. He said he has not turned back to drinking. So I'm kind of team nobody on this. I'm kind of team nobody. I relate to Paige more as a person. I do think Craig is the victim in all this, is a little bit over sappy for my taste. But he was dumped. And I mean, to sit there and say I was dumped and I'm the ex-boyfriend, good for him. Good for him. But I really don't think Paige did anything wrong. And he did bring up, he's dashed my hopes and dreams because Taylor Ann Green, who wants to see him with Rachel Kirkconnell who was dumped by Matt James from The Bachelor. Craig has said, we know them. We've hung out with them. We're kind of just friends. All right, well, weren't you kind of just friends with Paige in the beginning? So I'm not so sure that this is the end of Craig and Rachel Kirkconnell. Although Craig has said we're just friends, I am not going to believe it just yet. Sorry, I just can't do it. Um, what else can we quickly talk about? Messy G, my girl, Messy G. Some of you call her Melissa Gorga. Messy G was just on the Sherry Shepherd show. I gotta say, stepping away from this is what they want. It ended in August. We're like heading into what is that? Like we're like at 7 months now since this was on the air. Uh Messy G appears to be lighter to me. She appears to be lighter than today.